Hi there, welcome back to Let's Play. This is card 10 in our series. Today we are going to play with foil tape. I'm going to show you how to emboss with your foil tape and how to use up all your old chipboards, and I even covered a little brad. Alright, I hope you enjoy it and let's play. Today we can use any card because we are going to cover the entire thing, so you're not going to see it. So you can literally use any card in the pack that you like. I have used adhesive foil tape. It's a very, very thin tape that you get and it's sticky. So you just stick it on. If you don't have this tape, you can get it at China Mall, your local scrapbook shop. You can even find it at the hardware shops. I think it's called electrical conduit tape or something. If you can't find that, don't panic. Just normal foil, your normal kitchen foil, and a little bit of double-sided tape works just as well. I actually tried it out just to show you, and okay, it creases a little bit more than the other tape, but it does still work perfectly well. So all you would do is just stick your tape to your foil and then stick it onto your card and you would have the same effect. All right, so don't panic if you don't have. Alright, so to show you what we're going to do is we are going to use all our old chipboards. Now I know we've all got lots of leftover chipboards and rubbish chipboards that we don't use anymore. So go through your stash and dig out ones that you're not going to use anymore. Obviously because it's cards we're going to go small, but if you're going to do a layout, you can actually make beautiful layouts with this. And then just use your nice big chipboards, flowers, cluster them, make them look gorgeous, and then cover everything with foil and paint. It's a very, very messy exercise, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. All right, so first thing we are going to do is we are going to stick our chipboard, whichever chipboard you have decided to use. I just use Tombow. Less is more. Love my Tombow, but it is exceptionally messy. And you can stick your Tombow onto your chipboard and onto your card. Okay, that is a Celebrate chipboard that I have used. The love comes from a LA paper pack that I had. So this one I am just sticking into the bottom corner. As I say, anything that you want to use, you can use. And that one goes there. And that one goes there. So decorate it with whatever chipboard you've got. This is just leftovers that I had on hand. Okay, obviously it is Tombow on slippery surface, so it stays a little bit slippery. This here, as I said, it is adhesive. So if you just pull it apart, and then what we do is we are going to cover our entire card. All right, so pull it off, and I am just folding back the excess. You do the same with your foil and sticky tape if you're using that option. Okay, now comes the fun part. You need to dig out all your tools, so all your ball shaping tools, big, small, right until your smallest one that you can find. I'll start with a big one. Just give it a rough once over just to find all the edges of my images. Then I move on to the smaller one, and again just going through all my edges. Okay, I'm going fast here, but you guys obviously take your time and do it nice and neatly. Okay, so just trying to remember where all your pieces are. Then you obviously go smaller, 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 depending how many of these ball tools you have. Now you can go a little bit closer and you are going to define all your edges. So if you have a look, I am now going into all these little pieces just to find my edges. If you tear it, don't worry, it actually is awesome when you tear it because that is where your paint is going to stick. And that will give you this beautiful black pattern that you are aiming for. So don't tear it on purpose, but if it does tear, you'll see over here now, mine's just torn a little bit. So don't worry about it if it tears. Tearing is not the end of the world. Okay, we just stick it back flat a little bit. And going into all our little pieces, just make sure you can see your word. So you can see there now it's torn a little bit. but I'll show you now how cool it comes out. Okay, so there is our basic outline done. Okay, this one had little circles in it, which was quite cute. It actually paints quite well when you're done. Okay, and then lastly, I'm now going to go with my thinner one, just to get into those small corners that might not be 100% covered. Okay, I think that's pretty much good enough. So if you see, your card is now totally covered. We are now going to take, I'm just going to use my mat because this is very messy. I'm using gesso again. You don't have to use gesso. Any black paint will work. A nice thick black acrylic paint works well. I've just got gesso, so that's what I'm going to use. And don't go too thick. We are going to paint this. So if you see the first layer, all that we're going to wipe off. So what we want to focus on is we are going to, I'm using a sponge brush, and I want to get into the bottom layer. I'm not worried about the top layer because that I'm going to actually wipe off. So using my sponge brush as much as I can, I am trying to get into the bottom of these, where all my creases and folds are, where all my little torn pieces are. That is where I want to be. Okay, so you can neaten it up. And if you have a look now, everything is covered, and you want to get, as I say, into all those pieces on the bottom layer. Okay, I'm just going to hand dry this a little bit. Don't use your heat gun, purely because it will set it and then you won't be able to get your paint off. Okay, I'll just wipe here quickly. It's very messy. You can see what my hands look like. All right, so now we are going to take a paper towel and we are going to wipe. And when we wipe, we want to wipe the top layer off. If you wipe too much, it will all come off, which you don't want that. You just want to have, see now, if you want to go a little bit darker with your pieces, you can just go again a little bit more. And have a look there. All right, look how beautiful that comes up. So you play with it until you're happy with your layers. So like inside my V there was a little bit light. So we got a little bit darker. And you can then shine your top layer that it is nice and shiny. All right, so that is your bottom layer of your card done. You can add just a little bit of color to the sides if you want to, just to make sure that it looks gorgeous. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I have also included a cute little flower. What I've done, I'm just going to mount that up the way, is I have taken a scrap of chipboard. I have, please excuse my hands, taken a small piece of foil. If you don't have a die cutting machine, please freehand cut this. You don't have to have a machine. Okay, so I'm just die cutting a small little flower. As I say, if you have a machine, cut a flower. If you don't have a machine, just hand cut a little flower. Oh, and I've gone skew. Okay, but you'll get the general idea. Alrighty, so there is my little silver flower. I'm just cutting the petals that they've got a little bit more dimension. Always go in a little bit on your flowers. Now a lot of flowers are rounded, but this just gives you a little bit more dimension. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss with a Swiss dot. I love the Swiss dot. It gives you so much texture no matter how small your image is. And remember, with Cuttlebox, with embossing, we're just using our B plates. Okay, we're just going to run that through. And that is what it looks like. So you can see it gives it a really cute little bit of texture. Okay, now I'm just going to use my leftover brush and I am going to brush over my flower. Okay, I'm just going to blow it a little bit to dry it. And just lightly, I'm going to go over it. Okay, just to give it a little bit of color. So if you have a look, look how cute that little flower looks. Okay, excuse my one broken petal. Okay, now I want to adhere it to my card. So if you have a look, I have used a brad. My brad, however, I didn't have a nice silver brad. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use a blue brad, and I'm going to take a piece of foil. I'm going to just remove the liner again, and I'm going to cover my brad with foil. Okay, you can cut back a little bit, but what you end up with is a cute little silver, just round it off a little bit, and there's your brad. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use my hole piercer on my card, make a hole and apply my brad to my card, lift my flower a little bit so that I've got some dimension, and I've just taken a little bit of eyelash fluff, whatever they want to call it, and I'm just going to wrap that. You can use gauze or any other wool or fluff that you might have on hand. And there we go. Look how cute that came out. Fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. And yes, I'd love to see your versions. Please remember, post them on Scrap and Sell, not under this video. We're going to do it on Facebook, on Scrap and Sell, under the card 10 post with the pictures. Thanks, girls, and until next week, enjoy your card. Thank you. Bye.